Good day and shalom from the Torah Shorts. Today we're going to look at Yahuah's desire for us to walk in truth. He warns us against the word being tainted and changed, and he explicitly says that we must desire the unadulterated milk of the word. And he says this in 1 Peter 2 verse 1 and 2. Having put aside then all evil and all deceit and hypocrisies and envyings and all evil words, as newborn babes desire the unadulterated milk of the word, in order that you grow by it. Yahuah does not want us to be deceived. He does not want us to be lied to. And he does want us to walk in truth, his truth, not man's truth or the church's truth. By following theology against Torah or being disobedient to Yahuah's word causes stumbling blocks. We read this in 1 Peter 2 verse 8. And a stone of stumbling and a rock that makes for falling, who stumble because they are disobedient to the word, to which they also were appointed. They stumble because they disobey the word of Yahuah. So let's look at some examples of these stumbling blocks. One, and probably the most important one, is the doing away of the sacred name. Yahuah's name is sacred, is set apart, is holy, and we must treat it as such. By doing away with his name, we call him by pagan names, and so we worship another mighty one. Many does not believe that his name was taken away, and he makes it clear in Proverbs 30 verse 4. Who has gone up to the heavens and come down? Who has gathered the winds in his fists? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you know it? Yahuah makes it very clear that both his name and his son's name will be taken away. Another error is the changing of his covenant. The church changes the renewed covenant for the New Testament. It is not new. New implicates different. Renewed means something being repaired. We read in Psalm 89 verse 34, Yahuah makes it very clear that he does not change his covenant. I shall not profane my covenant, neither would I change what has gone out from my lips. So how is it possible that his word was changed? We even see this in the concordance, H2318. The Hebrew word being chadash, a primitive root to be new, causatively to rebuild, renew, or repair. You can go look at my talk on the renewed covenant if you want more information on that. But the translators changed his word, and we see this in the King James, Hebrews 8 verse 13. He says, in that he saith, a new covenant he hath made the first old, now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. That is wrong. That is the adulterated word of Yahuah being changed. They added the word covenant and they changed the word new for renew. I beg your pardon? They changed the word renew to new. So it says that there is a new, and they added the word covenant, which is not the case at all. We just read in Psalm 80, and I think it was 89:34, yes, where he said that he will not profane his covenant, and he will not change his words that come out of his mouth. Another problem is where the translators use the word law for a combination of Hebrew words such as Torah, which is the law, the 10 commandments, the first 5 books of Moshe. The word namosa, which is nomos in Greek, means any law. Mitzvot, meaning good works. And Talmud, or the oral law or man's law. So what the translator did, they just used the word law for all these words. So when the Father speaks about Torah, they don't know. They just think law. When Father speaks about doing the right stuff, obeying the Torah, doing good works, which is mitzvot, they just use law. When Yahuah talks about the added laws that the Pharisees added to the Torah, which is called the Talmud, man's laws, they just call it law. So when you read or listen to your pastor talking about works of law, or when it says that the law was done away with, it was talking, Yahuah was talking and Yahushua was talking about the oral law or the added laws to the Torah, not the Torah. We can read the example of that in Galatians 3 verse 13, and this is a very, very good example. He says, "For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. For it is written, Cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them." So this is telling you that for those who do the works of the law and those who do not do it are cursed. So you're cursed if you obey and you're cursed if you disobey. That's not possible. The right wording would be, "For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse," referring to the Talmud or the oral law or the Christian traditions and laws. "For it has been written, Cursed is everyone who does not continue in all that has been written in the book of the Torah to do them." So what this verse is saying, if you obey man's laws, you are cursed. If you obey the Torah, you are doing the right thing. The fourth example is scriptural feasts versus the church traditions. The scriptural feasts of the Passover, unleavened bread, first fruit, weeks, which are all fulfilled. Then to come trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles is Yahuah's redemption plan. If you do not participate in it, you are not part of his redemption plan. But the church have done away with that, and they replaced it with Christmas, Easter, Lent, Palm Sunday, Ash Wednesday, Halloween, etc. Traditions of man replaced it, doing away with Yahuah's redemption plan. The fifth example would be the food laws. The church teaches that you can eat anything, that the food laws are done away with. So when they sit down after Sunday church, they sit and have pork and they ask the Father to bless this abomination. That is not going to happen. They use this next verse as reasoning that that is the case, that it's right. We read Colossians 2 verse 16. "Let no one therefore judge you in eating or in drinking, or in respect of a festival, or a new moon, or Sabbaths." Well, they're wrong. Why? Because it says, "Let no one therefore judge you." Who's that? Those who are obeying the food laws in eating or drinking, those who do the scriptural festivals or in respect of a festival, those doing obeying the new moon and the Sabbaths. Christianity does none of them. So this does not apply to them. It's talking about Christianity judging the Nazarim, the true followers, keeping the Torah. Yahuah then continues in that chapter, and he gives a very clear warning against the dogmas in that time, which is similar or equal to the dogmas of the church. Listen to the words very carefully. Colossians 2 verse 20 onwards. "If then you died with Messiah, from the elementary matters of the world, why, as though living in the world, do you subject yourselves to dogmas? Do not touch, do not taste, do not handle, which are all to perish with use, according to the commands and the teachings of men. So it's referring to dogmas and the commands and teachings of men. These indeed have an appearance of wisdom in self-imposed worship, humiliation, and harsh treatment of the body, of no value at all, only for the satisfaction of the flesh. The next example is works of law. They are very quick to say you cannot earn your salvation. Well, they're wrong. It refers, we read in King James, Galatians 2 verse 16, knowing that a man is not justified by works of the law, but by the faith of JC, even we have believed in JC, that we might be justified by the faith of Messiah, and not by the works of the law, for by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. Now, if you understood what works of the law is, that is the added laws the Pharisees added to the Torah. Then this works. But no, Christianity puts all of the Torah under this, and they are absolutely wrong. The truth is that if you are a true follower of Messiah, you will walk and follow his example, obeying the Torah, doing the mitzvot, the good works, because we love our neighbor. Good works will be obeying Torah, respecting, honoring, loving, fearing Yahuah, loving our neighbors, helping them in difficult situations, comforting them. Those are mitzvot. So we see then in the following very clearly put in James 2 verse 18, but someone might say, you have belief and I have works. Show me your belief without your works, and I'll show you my belief by my works. My works is the evidence of my love for Yahusha and for Yahuah, and because I love him, I obey him and do the Torah. Belief is perfected by the works. We read that in verse 22. Do you see that the belief was working with his works? And by the belief, and by the works, the belief was perfected. Works perfects our faith. And then just a quick mention on some other ones on laws and traditions. We read in Matthew 28:19, words added to establish a trinity. There is no trinity in the scripture, and those words are a lie. Matthew 26:17, it talks about the disciples who went to JC on the first day of unleavened bread, asking him where to prepare the meal. That is absolutely impossible, because on the first day of unleavened bread, our Messiah was already buried. So that cannot be possible. Romans 10:4 says that the Torah is, the Messiah is the end of the Torah. How? Yahusha is the Torah. So Christianity teaches you that the Torah has come to an end. In other words, Yahusha has come to an end, our Messiah. No. There are two words that the translators could have chosen from: goal and end. Yahusha is our goal, meaning we desire to be like him. So it is not termination of the law of the Torah, but it is the goal. Hebrews 8 verse 13. They added the word covenant, as we've seen already, and they changed the word renewed to new, to fit their theology. And then lastly, just 4 points on some theology errors that they teach. 3 days, 3 nights, excuse me, from Good Friday to Sunday is impossible. So that theology doesn't work. Their Easter does not fall in line with Scripture. The fact that the New Testament is new and it's done away with the renewed covenant, that's a lie. That circumcision is done away with. Circumcision is the law of the Passover. And for you to be saved, you have to enter the Passover as a circumcised man. You cannot do the Passover without circumcision. And lastly, that the Trinity, they are praying to a third mighty one, which is praying to another God. I hope this helps. Praise Yah for truth. Till next time.